Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Little's Lab. My name is Kim. I am a community learning specialist with DoSpace, and this is our last week for our theme this month, which is Let's Learn Letters. So all this month we've been talking about how important knowing and learning our letters is, because it helps with, just knowing what they look like, knowing what they sound like, our letters. And then it helps us because when we get a little bit older, or maybe you're already kind of starting, it helps us learn how to read. And reading is so important, isn't it? It helps us, I'm sure that you love stories being read to you, and those stories, you can go on so many adventures just from the comfort of your home, and it's so much fun. And so it's so important to learn how to read, but you have to know the basics, right? The basics are you need to know your letters and how they look and how they sound. So we did a little bit of letter recognition earlier this month, and today we are going to be talking about how our letters sound. So we are going to be reading a story called Phoebe Sounds It Out. And because one of the very first things that a lot of kiddos like you probably learn how to do is maybe learn how to spell your name, because that's important, right? To know how to spell your name, which means you have to learn like what all those letters sound like for your name. And we are going to be reading a story about a little girl whose name is Phoebe, and her name is a little bit tricky because sometimes letters and how words kind of combine with other letters, they don't always follow the rules. So we're going to be kind of reading about that. And then we're going to be playing a really fun game called Osmo Words, where we're going to be looking at pictures, and we are needing to look at guess what's the first letter of the word of that picture. So for example, if you see a picture of a dog, we need to know what's the first letter in the word dog. Do you know? Think about it, because that's going to be our first picture that when we start that game. And so perfect. So let's get started. So I like to always start my Little's Lab with our calendar, because I think it's so important to look at because it helps with our numbers and our days of the week, which is so important. And we can also help us with our letters. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and you should see a screen with a kind of a box with a triangle in the middle. And it doesn't look like a calendar quite yet, does it? That's all right. We're going to be getting to our calendar. I like this because we are at starfall.com, and I like this calendar because it's interactive. We have to kind of click, or if you were to go on it like on a tablet, like an iPad or something, you'd be able to touch the screen and it kind of gets it moving. So I'm going to have you guys help me out today. Can you guys pretend with me today? So today I want you to pretend that you're helping me navigate and go through this screen. So you should see, for example, a big white triangle right in the middle of your screen. And I want you, every time I tell you to, I want you to touch your hand just like this, and that's going to help me move us along. So for example, on the count of 3, I want you to touch your hand, and that's going to move us to our next screen for our calendar. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. So you should see on your screen a big word and a big number. So we are going to talk about this word. This is our month that we are in right now. So this is our month that we're in. And I want to know what is the first letter of our word. So I want you to share with the people that you're with. If you're with your grown-ups, or maybe with your siblings, or with some friends, can you share what you think this first letter is? What is this very first letter? And to give you a hint, it's our very first letter of our alphabet. What is our very first letter of our alphabet? Do you know? I bet you do know. It is our letter A. So this is our letter A, and our letter A actually kind of makes 2 sounds. It makes 2 sounds a lot of the time. So you can sometimes the letter A is the long A. So for example, the month of April, you make the long A sound, and that means basically you're saying the sound is the name of the letter. It's A, so A for April. But it also makes the a sound, like apple. So that's called the short, short version of long vowel or short vowel sound. So that's the short sound, is the apple, A for apple. And so our month, do you know what our month is called? Share with your friends or with your people that you're with if you know what the name of our month is called. We're nearing the end of it, right? And our month is called August. It kind of makes it doesn't quite follow those rules because it has this U after it, but it makes a little bit of a short vowel sound. August. It's not quite that A sound, is it? Like April. So we are in the month of August. And then this is our year that we are in. We are in the year 2020, 2020. Okay, we need to get to our next screen. So again, can you touch your hand on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Boop. Perfect. Now it looks like a calendar, doesn't it? Yeah, so now we are in our calendar, and you should be able to see our month that we're in at the very top, our August, and then over here is our year 2020. And then right under that is our 7 days of the week. And it is so important to know our 7 days of the week, right? Because we go through our 7 days of the week every week, throughout every month, all year long in every year. So we need to know our 7 days of the week. So important. So let's say them all together. So you say them with the people that you're with. I'm going to say them with you, and let's say them all together. And we're going to start with Sunday. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Great job. And then who knows what today's day of the week is? Do you know what today's day of the week is? If you know, share with your friend, share with the people you're with. So it comes after Monday and before Wednesday, and it starts with our letter T. It is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. So can we touch our Tuesday? So again, we're going to touch our hand on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Boop. Excellent. So today is Tuesday. That's our day of the week. So all of these dates that we see right here are all Tuesdays in our month of August. Our month is called August. And then this big number right here is our date today. And yeah, it's a pretty big number. So you may know this number and maybe you don't. And that's okay either way. We're still learning, right? And so our big number is made up of 2 numbers. So we have our first one is our number 2. And our second number is our number 5. And when a 2 is in front of a 5, that makes the number 25. So today is the 25th day of August, number 25. So you can see these are all of our Tuesdays, the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, and then now the 25th. And then we have our year, 2020. Okay, we need to go to the next screen. So we're going to touch our hand again. 1, 2, 3. Boop. Nice. Okay, so we need to put our Tuesday and our 25th day back in our month, into our calendar. So I'm just going to drag and drop these where they need to go. And then this is our month of August. So I like this calendar, our Starfall calendar, because it'll show little pictures or icons for special days during our month. So our month of August had 2 special days earlier this month. On Sunday, August 2nd, was Friendship Day. So you can see we have 2 friends holding hands, right? Or maybe shaking hands. And so it was Friendship Day. I think every day can be Friendship Day. What do you think? Every day can be a day where you can tell your friend, thank you for being my friend. And anybody can be your friend, right? Your parents can be your friend. Your siblings can be your friend, brothers and sisters, your cousins, people at school, your aunts and uncles, your next door neighbor. Yeah, there are so many people that can be your friends, right? I think a lot of times people think our only people that are your friends are, people you meet at school that aren't related, but anybody can be your friend. And so Friendship Day is a really good day because I bet people celebrated that day by telling their friends that they thank them for being their friend and thanks for being good friends. So you can do that any day. So if you have a really good friend, no matter who it is, tell them thanks for being my friend today. That's always nice. And then the next day on Monday, August 3rd, was What does that look like, friends? What does that look like a picture of? Does that look like a picture of a watermelon? You would be right, because on Monday, August 3rd, was Watermelon Day. Do you like watermelon? I love watermelon. I think watermelon is so good. That's why I love the summer, because I get to eat watermelon all the time. And so maybe if you weren't able to celebrate Watermelon Day on August 3rd, maybe you can celebrate Watermelon Day sometime before the end of August. So I always like this because we can also talk about birthdays. I know I have a birthday and you have a birthday, and I'm looking for friends that have a birthday in our month of August. So I know not everybody has a birthday in a month of August, but if you have a birthday in a month of August, put it in the chat. I would love to know what day your birthday is in your month of August. And so I'm going to put a birthday cake on one of the days in August, because I normally don't get to say I have a birthday this month, but this month in August, I can. My birthday is actually tomorrow. It's on the 26th. So I have a birthday tomorrow on Wednesday, August 26th. And then I think, if I'm remembering correctly, oh, I think I changed things. Oopsies. I changed tabs. My apologies. I think we had a friend that was here last week, and they told me that they had a birthday this month too, Carson. And I believe Carson's birthday was on the 25th. I think so. So we're going to put a birthday cake on the 19th. That's right. Thank you, Carson. So his birthday was last Wednesday. That's right. So we had a birthday. Our friend Carson had a birthday on the 19th, last Wednesday. So we had our birthdays a week apart. That's right. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Well, I'm not seeing any other birthdays, so we are going to move on. So I'm going to stop. Ooh, I have another friend that says, Alan, I think that's how you, Alan's? Maybe birthday's on the 27th, so the day after mine. So I'm going to put another birthday cake on the 27th, on Thursday, the 27th. Yeah, so happy birthdays. We have a lot of birthdays this month. That's exciting. Yay. Perfect. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to actually switch screens to where we're going to see our story. So like I said, we're going to be reading a story called Phoebe Sounds It Out. And the title, it says, unfortunately, her name doesn't quite look like it sounds. And her classmates are going to be practicing writing their names, and Phoebe kind of struggles because we kind of learned the basics of how our letters, we know that the letter B makes the b sound. The letter C can make the k sound or sound. But we have a friend whose name is Phoebe, and we're going to learn that even though it starts with a P, it doesn't make the P sound. And even though there's an O in there, she kind of has a funny sounding, or a funny name where it doesn't sound like it looks. So even though, because usually, and we'll talk about this in the story, usually a lot of the times the words that we use in that say English or in our names, they pretty much look like they sound. Like, for example, my name is Kim, and it's spelled K-I-M, and you can kind of sound that out. K. The K makes the k sound, and it makes the im, makes the little I, the short I sound, Kim, and then it ends with the letter M, Kim. So that's how you spell out my name, K-I-M, and I can sound that out pretty easy. I bet a lot of you can sound your names out pretty easy too, but not all the time. Sometimes names can go by their, sometimes words and names can go by their own set of rules. So let's see how Phoebe sounds it out for her name. So this book is written by Julie Zwilich and is illustrated by Denise Holmes. So I'm going to, there we go. So Phoebe sounds it out. So Phoebe pulled on her rain boots, and Mama called them galoshes, and Grammy called them wellies, but Phoebe called them rain boots because that's what they were for, splashing around in the rain, and Phoebe liked her boots a lot. Do you have some rain boots? I have rain boots. But it wasn't raining today, so Phoebe decided to call them sun boots. That's pretty smart. And now she was ready for school. So she's all ready for school in her sun boots. So Phoebe's teacher was Miss Martha, and she was kind and smart. I bet you have kind and smart teachers too. And when Miss Martha saw Phoebe in her sun boots, she said, "Well, we'll just have to put the sprinklers on after lunch and splash around." And Miss Martha totally understood boots. "But first," said Miss Martha, "let's work on writing our names. Have you ever worked on writing your names? Maybe you're too young for that, and that's okay. Or maybe you're a little bit older and you have." So they're old enough that they're going to start practicing writing their names. And so the other teacher, Miss April, put a big basket of pencils on the table and got out her guitar. Oh, that's so fun. Miss April likes singing better than talking. Sometimes I like singing better than talking too. So Phoebe chose a pencil, then decided putting her right sun boot on her left foot and her left sun boot on her right foot was more important. And Phoebe's toes felt wrong in her boots. Have you ever put your shoes on the wrong foot just to see what happens? Yeah, she was gonna see. They kind of feel funny, right? Because they're not on the right feet. But Miss April sat down beside her and said, "Phoebe, we're writing our names. Let's give it a try." She got a little distracted, right? So Phoebe had seen her name before. Mama had even stitched it on her ladybug backpack, but it started with a P and had a whole lot of other letters that didn't make sense. So Phoebe figured her mother had made a mistake, and she didn't want Mama to feel bad about it because everyone makes mistakes, even mamas. That's so true. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay as long as we learn from them, right? So we can see her name on her ladybug backpack, and like she said, Phoebe's name starts with the letter P. What letter, or how does the letter P sound? Can you share what you think the letter P sounds like with your friends, with the people that you're with? Does the letter P usually make the pa sound? It does, right? Huh, but that's not how Phoebe sounds. Let's see what happens. So Phoebe put down her pencil and picked up another one. And then she held it under her nose and pretended it was a mustache. She's getting distracted a little bit, isn't she? And Miss April was floating around the table singing quietly, "Just sound it out." She needs to sound out her name. Let's see. So Phoebe sounded out the first letter of her name. So when we hear Phoebe, what letter do we sound? We hear the f sound, Phoebe. And this was certainly not how her name began on her backpack. P was for popcorn and pencil. And she knew the letter that made the right sound, the one with one line and two sticks. What letter do you think the sound f is for? What letter makes the f sound? Is it our letter F? Yeah, and this is the line and two sticks that she was talking about, our little letter F right up here. And usually the letter F is for like fish. So how does the word Phoebe start with the P, the name P, but it sounds like F? Let's see. So the next sound was the letter E, and Phoebe drew one and drew an extra so the first E wouldn't feel lonely, because a lot of times the letter E is a vowel, and it's kind of like the letter A. It has two sounds. It makes the long E sound where it makes the E, or it makes the short E sound, which is like for elephant. And so she can hear the E sound, that long E. So she put in two E's for Phoebe. And maybe that's what Mama was thinking when she stitched that crazy O. Look, there's a crazy O in her name, Phoebe. Why is there an O in there? Who knows? So now Phoebe was at the letter she loved, the only one that made sense on her ladybug backpack, and when she sounded it out. A bubble with a stick, and a hard part was getting it to face the right way. What do you think that letter is? We have Phoebe. I think she's at the letter B. Is she at the letter B? Yeah, the letter B makes the B sound, and we can hear that in Phoebe. So she knows that there's definitely a letter B in her name. And at the end of her name was another E sound, Phoebe, again. And Phoebe wanted to try something different. So maybe she could borrow the letter that was at the end of Nikki's name. And it sounded right. Nikki wouldn't mind. So Nikki, it has a long E sound, but Nikki is a name ends with a Y. Because sometimes that Y makes a long E sound too. So she's going to put the letter Y, I think, at the end of her name for Phoebe instead of two E's again. And Miss Martha came over and looked at the children's work. Something's not quite right, she said, and turned and walked away. And Phoebe's boots felt hot on her feet, and maybe they really were only for rainy days. And Miss Martha returned and placed a box on the table. We forgot to decorate our names with glitter glue. Oh my goodness. Glitter glue is so much fun. And you have to decorate your name sometimes, right? So Phoebe liked glitter glue a lot. She opened the orange tube and squished it all over her name, and it sparkled and shone. And there we can see her name, F-E-E-B-Y, but it looks a little bit different than what was stitched on her backpack, right? When Phoebe ran out of glitter glue, she switched her right sun boot onto her right foot and her left sun boot onto her left foot. Ah, that feels better. And so now Miss Martha is collecting all of their pieces of paper with their names on it. And Phoebe handed her name to Miss Martha, who smiled and said, "What a great start." Because her name's kind of tricky, right? So we can even see some of our other friends, they may have spelled it right, but maybe they got the letters spelled backwards, and that's okay. And she did a good start because she sounded it out. Because even though her name starts with a P, it had an H after it. And when words have a PH at the beginning, or anywhere really sometimes, that PH makes an F sound for some reason. It's so funny. So that's why, even though her name starts with the letter P, it makes the F sound for Phoebe. And I couldn't tell you why there was an O in Phoebe's name. But she spelled it out as like we should when we start learning how to spell out words. So she did a great start. So good job, Phoebe. And so I want to challenge you guys this week. If you can, maybe with the help of your grown-up or with maybe an older sibling or another friend, maybe try sounding out your name and seeing if you can spell out your name. It's a good practice to learn what your letters sound like. And so maybe you can try doing that this week. Perfect. Well, thanks for joining me for my story today, friends. So the next thing we are going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we are going to, I'm going to change camera views really quickly. So I'm going to change it so that you can see an iPad that I'm going to be working on. And then we're going to be playing a game on my iPad that's called Osmo Words. It's really, really cool. So let me get that set up really quickly. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to stop my video really quickly. So I'm still here, don't worry. And I'm going to share this screen. So you should in a second. There we go. You should be able to see a picture of a dog. And then I'm going to start my video up again. Hi. And I'm going to change it. Oh no. Well, now you should see me again. I'm going to change it. Hopefully. There we go. So and you're going to see a little bit of our Littles Lab. We're kind of using it for storage for just for the time being. But now you should be able to see a picture of my iPad. You should see my hand right here. And then this is the game. So it's called Osmo Words. And it's really, really cool because you should see a picture of our dog, and I talked about this at the very beginning, right? And I want to know, did you guys think about what letter does our word dog start with? What makes the da sound? What do you think? Is it our letter D? That's right, it's our letter D. And the cool thing about our Osmo game is that this little guy right up here, this little red thing, has a mirror on it. And so it can see everything that's in front of it, right? So I'm going to find my letter D. I found my letter D right here, and I'm going to place it right in front of, and it can see what's right in front of its screen. So now I'm going to move this. Okay,
move
so
the
now we're
letter
ready for
tiles
the
off
next
to the sides.
picture and our next word. What is that a picture of? That's a picture of, you might say it's a cowboy hat, which you wouldn't be wrong, but we're looking for a hat. We are wanting the word, what's the letter that starts with the word ha 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 hat? What makes the ha 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 sound? Do you know what makes the ha 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 sound? If you do, share it with your people with you're with. Yeah, I think the letter that makes the ha 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 sound is our letter H. Our letter H makes the ha 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 sound. So I'm going to put that in right front, and that is right. Our hat starts with the letter H. And now I'm going to move that H. Ooh, this one's a little bit tricky. This one's a big word, right? It is. It is. What is this? Do you know what animal this is? It's a type of bird. It's all pink and cool looking. You might have seen it at the zoo before. Do you know that this is a flamingo? This is a flamingo. And this starts with the letter, well, I want you to tell me. It makes the flamingo sound. It's the same letter that Phoebe's name sounded like. So what letter makes the sound? What do you think? Is it our letter F? I think so, and I found our letter F right here, so I'm going to bring that over. That's right. It is flamingo. Oh my goodness. Look at this cute little guy.
Move the letter
What is
tiles
this
off
cute
to the
little guy?
sides.
Is this cute little guy a pig? That's a little piggy, right? And so our pig starts with a pa sound. What makes the pa sound? We also talked about this in our story because Phoebe's name starts with this letter, even though it doesn't sound like it. Because this letter is for popcorn and pencils. Was it our letter P? P for pig. Let's see. I got our P in there. There we go. Our letter P is for pig. We'll do a few more. Those errors were whenever I was practicing. Okay, what are all of these? What are these pictures of, friends? Are all of these pictures of hands? That is right. And we kind of worked on this letter already. What makes the ha 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 sound? Ha 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 for hands. Do you remember? Is ha 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 for hands our letter H? I think so. So let's try our letter H. Oh, good job. That is letter H. Oh my goodness, look at these guys. What are these, friends? I bet you've seen these animals at the zoo as well. Are these monkeys? These are monkeys. What letter does monkey start with? It makes the sound. What letter makes the sound? What letter makes the sound? Is it our letter M? I think so. I gotta find our letter M. Let's see if I can find our letter M. Oh, I found my letter M right here. So let's see if monkeys start with the letter M. That is right. Our monkeys start with our letter M. Okay, let's do one more, friends. What does this look like? It looks like a bottle pouring some liquid into a cup. What's that liquid, do you think? What's that clear liquid? You probably drink it all the time. I know I do. Is it water? Yeah, there's a bottle of water being poured into a cup. And what letter does water start with? It makes the sound. What letter makes the sound for water? Is our letter W? Water, W. Let's see if it's water for W. W for water. That is right. Good job, friends. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do one more because I think this one's fun too. And it gets us a new, what are these? What are these colorful? And either way, I feel like you could say either eggs or Easter eggs. And that's a perfect example of this letter because if you said just eggs, this letter makes the sound for eggs. But it also, if you said Easter eggs, it makes that E sound for Easter. So Easter eggs. So, and the Easter will kind of help you out with that. So what letter does eggs or Easter eggs start with? It makes the E sound or the sound? That is right. It is our letter E. So eggs. Oh, I think I accidentally got an F in there somewhere. Maybe you just missaw it. Oh, and then we have cookies, right? Well, friends, we are actually out of time. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, stop broadcasting. And then I'm going to change my screen back to, oops, me. There we go. And say thank you so much for joining me for Little's Lab today and helping me learn about our letters and what they sound like. Like I said, I want you to maybe with the help of a grown-up or an older sibling, an older friend, maybe figure out how your name is spelled by sounding it out. See if you can spell out your name either by writing it or with maybe like letter blocks or some other things that have letters on it. There are so many ways that you can spell out your name, and maybe try listening to the letters and seeing if you can practice with how they sound. It's such good practice. So with our reading in the future. Well, excellent. Well, friends, next month is our month of September. Oh my goodness, we're already in September. How did that happen? And we are going to be working on our numbers. So we are going to be doing some fun activities and apps that help us with our numbers. So hopefully you can join us again next week on Tuesday at 10:30 for Little's Lab then. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you keep practicing your learning your letters and how they sound. And we'll talk to you again soon. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.